Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today I'm coming to you from the shed, if you couldn't tell from the echo, and it's gonna be about the fact that we're barely a month into the school year, and I'm already just done with the science research class. And so my original idea for this year, my experiment was to see, do some researching on Google and whatnot, maybe like look at plants that survive like smog heavy areas in China, where there's all CO2 and all, and see which plants grow a ton in that environment, preferably in like concrete and such, or like in cement where there's not as many nutrients, I guess. Because I wanted to do a project where we take a plant that could survive copious amounts of CO2 and see if it can survive the atmosphere of Mars, which has like 97% CO2, a lot more than here on Earth, obviously. And my teacher was all like, yeah, but you have to grow it regolith, which, yeah, I kind of anticipated if you'd read their whole, like, rationale. No, it's not even rationale, I forget what it's, I think it's purpose, because it's on the proposal part, like, proposal form. And I was like, yeah, cool, whatever. And she's like, and also you're doing it with just a regolith, not the atmosphere differences. And it's like, whoa. That's basically taking away the interesting part of the project. And the other part of the project that she won't let me do either is the lighting differences, because on Mars, like, even though it's very, very bright at noon on the equator for them, it's still barely, or actually a little bit over half as bright as it is on Earth at noon on most places. So that's a big difference as well. In fact, on there it's even less light because of the fact how far away they are from the sun, but also like the sun's angled. But whatever. And even if she did allow me to do the light, I would basically be copying my friend's project this year and the one I did last year if I couldn't do light. But what I want to do is do specifically testing the atmosphere, the gas. Because I'm sure on Mars, where it's really frigid, it would have some way to insulate and provide extra lighting to any plants. Because they spent all that money getting their people there anyway. They don't want them freezing to death or starving to death due to some minor cost change, such as not bringing any UV light bulbs and solar panels. My teachers are like, no, just do the regolith, and next year you can do lighting, and the year after that you can do the atmosphere. But it's like, I'm not trying to see what plant can perfectly be simulated on Mars and doing it bit by bit. I would be fine doing that if I could do it all in 1 year, because the fact it makes more sense and I'm not blatantly copying my friend's project. But whatever. And so I'm very unhappy with how this currently is and all, because like it's an interesting project, but at the same time it's boring, and at the science fair it's been done over and over so many times that the judges don't care. And anytime like the judges don't care, they just don't mark you down for anything, and then you don't win any, awards. And that leads to another part why I want to pick an interesting project. Because the fact if I don't win anything, then my mom loses her mind, and it just makes everyone miserable for the next 5 weeks. She calls me an idiot. She yells at my dad for encouraging my behavior. She says I should stop taking this class because it upsets her whenever I don't win something. And it's like, I don't want to deal with these big ass fights, because it always ends with my dad walking out of the car, us not leaving a parking lot for 5 or 6 hours, or however many hours it was normally. Or is technically. 1 year was like 4 hours, and 1 year was 30 minutes, but whatever. Tends to be a really long time. Longer one should be remaining in the parking lot after every other person's already left. And so that's another reason I want to pick a really interesting project. But another reason I want to pick an interesting project is so I don't half-ass it. Because if it's something I actually care about, then I actually will put effort into it. Like the one project I had last year and the year before, like they were interesting subjects, but the way I had to go about them was just boring. Like the one I had 2 years ago was like the one to see could the politicians like physical appearance influence the way their constituents see them. But I couldn't do my original project, and also because of the fact we had to do human participants at the school, I couldn't do like online Google form, like see if I can get someone like give it a shout out or something, I don't know, whatever. But given the fact I had to go through all these paperwork, I only got like 27 people, and most of them were 7th graders. And it was just so stupid, but the research itself, but the project itself was boring. And you could tell, like, towards the end of the research paper, I had to go through all the data and stuff that, like, the interest in it was gone. And the judges could see that. Nothing came of that project. End of the ceremony, a few days later, big ass domestic dispute in the parking lot. And I feel like I wasted almost half a year on a project that I didn't really care about. And then last year, while it was an interesting project, it was had to do with, like, turtle nesting locations. At the same time, it wasn't something I'm all that interested in. Meaning that, like, I just kind of procrastinated on one part, and the other part, I couldn't stay focused on it, and you could tell. So then what did it lead to? The judges not caring, and my mom having a big old shit fit in the ceremony. And then once again, I felt like I'd wasted half a year. So if I get to choose a project I'm at least interested in, like in the first time I took research, or it was like hermit crabs and like food preferences and such, like, even though it was such a small scale project done really poorly, about as much as you'd expect from a study, it was something I was genuinely interested in, and I got at least one minor award, but to my mom's dismay, not a scholarship, because, you can't give middle schoolers scholarships. You can't. It's not, it's in the rules, but whatever. My mom couldn't accept that, and I had a domestic dispute in the parking lot. But at least then I was interested in it. You could tell by the way it was written. And then also there were a few judges who liked the project as well, and that's why I got that one award. And in fact, there's just one old guy, like I talked to him for like 30 minutes, he talked about how when he was a kid he had hermit crabs, and he would feed them peanut butter, and they really liked it. But because of the fact I cared so much about that project, it stands out to me the most with all the articles I read and such, because I enjoyed it. And I didn't feel like I wasted half a year. So that's why this year, I don't want to do another project that, like, it gets changed, or I'm just told to do it because, the teacher suggested to do it. I want it to be something I actually care about, so don't just half-ass it and whatever. But, according to my mom, that's a bad thing. How dare you want to do a project you're interested in? Oh, my heavens. So her ever so lovely solutions was to go along with it, half-ass it, be mediocre like I am every other time, not get noticed by judges, rightfully so, because it would have been done terribly anyway, not win anything, and then there'd be another stupid and embarrassing fight in a parking lot while we're there for 4 hours. My dad walks out of the car, my mom starts crying in the front seat, and I feel like shit. Like, I don't want to go for that again. I'm sick of it. Happens enough already. I don't need her to go on and on about how every year I'm wasting not even happy, or like 8 months or whatever. Like, I don't like it, and it just, so that's why I want to do a project I'm interested in. So even if I don't win anything, and there's another big ass fight and all, at least that's something I remembered, and I learned something, and I actually don't feel like I wasted off time. Like, it'll be something I'm interested and happy with. So, my mom, please, I'm lightheaded right now. So my mom was like, no, be mediocre, have another fight. That's what I want. Your teacher obviously knows best what you can do. And then my mom's other solution, which, ignoring all the ethical problems with it, and the fact it's illegal, and the fact it would be getting me expelled from school if I were ever to be caught, or even, suspected of it, she suggested buying a project already done from Ukraine and then passing it off as my own. You can see all the ethical dilemmas there. Not even dilemmas, just problems with that. And even that, it would be taking away the one part, like, of taking research that I actually cared about. And that is the fact that I get to research something that I'm interested in, even if the experiment is total crap. I don't want to buy some other person's project, have it badly translated, especially because it's a stupid project that I wouldn't care about anyway, it's really mediocre, and then should I just have something to yell about in a parking lot? Like, it's such a terrible solution, you couldn't even call it that. So my solution to this was, I'm going to change my project, which right now, given we're so early into it, and I'd only have like 5 articles I've submitted. I have like a full list of what I want to need to do summaries for this project, but I'm not going to do. I'm just going to change my project. And that project was looking at exoplanet databases, like the one from NASA with 4,055 confirmed exoplanets, updated earlier today, September 15th. And yeah, just examine the database and weed out planets using certain parameters like what's its pressure, its gravity, what's its temperature, how far away is it from the sun, and how chaotic is its sun. What else is in the neighborhood, if you will, around the star? Are there any asteroids that are going to kill it? What's the atmosphere? And basically weed out all the crappy planets and see how many of the currently confirmed ones could potentially support life. And maybe if I do a bit more research on this next part, even include that in the end, I guess, but do some calculations using how many I figured out and try to figure out, okay, how many planets in our galaxy could potentially support life. But even then, this has some problems because of the confirmed exoplanets. Well, there's a lot more we don't even know about. Either because we haven't seen them, or because of the fact we can never see them. Because a planet, for us to see it, we have to be able to be looking at the star at the right time where the planet's passing over it, and it has to be able to get in between our view of the star at that angle and the light hitting us, so we can see the change in the light waves as the planet passes through. Other planets have different orbits where we can't see it, or maybe it's too small that we can't see the difference with the current telescope that was used, or maybe we saw a difference and we want to confirm it, but the planet has an orbit of 300 years, or maybe even Earth orbit, or maybe it's still a bit longer, so we just miss it, So that's kind of the problem I have with doing all the math. Anyways, I really don't know what to do. This video probably sounds really dry and boring, but if you manage to stay for the 11 minutes and 48 seconds currently here, just have a really good day, and here's some advice. Never step on Gliese 436b. That planet is amazing. It's metal. Actually, it's not metal. It's roughly the size of Neptune, and it has water, but not water as you think of it. The water is actually so pressurized that it's solid, but it's so close to the star that it's hella hot. So it could be flaming if you set it on fire, but you can't because you couldn't stand there to set on fire, to start a match. But it's so hot, but it's solid. It's a pretty cool planet. So yeah, bye. Have a good day, night, whatever. Bye.